Alrighty, here we go. Let's rock and roll. Hey everyone, I speak for all the folks in this room when I say that Gus and Sarah are a freaking awesome couple. I'm Jimmy, it's very nice to meet everyone. I've been one of Gus's best friends since early days in high school. So some of you may know Sarah and Gus, and some of you may know Gus and not Sarah. Some of you may know both of them. I fortunately fall into that third category when I know them both very well, and I'm looking forward to knowing Sarah even better as our lives progresses and as this marriage continues on through the rest of their lives. I've been around Sarah many times now, and what I do see is why Gus brings up his sweet baby angel constantly. Every 5 seconds, don't worry Gus, it's fine because you're marrying her now. She's such a special woman, and I can't wait to get to know her even better over the years. But first, let me give a bit of a backstory of myself and these groomsmen, and who will all be groomsmen at my wedding, are also very best friends of myself and Gus, who have had a huge impact on our lives, as has Gus. I met Gus my freshman year of high school, and not so long after that, towards the end of freshman year, we became best friends. White on rice. Fortunately, that friendship has lasted throughout the years, and honestly, it felt like we never skipped a beat. From ragging on each other about who could rile up a teacher more, or Gus telling me not to do something and me obviously doing that anyway because I thought I was funny. There were always some shenanigans involved. Henry, Phil, and Madaras, who you may meet at some point, were right alongside of Gus and I during that ride as well in high school. Henry, refer to him as 12-piece. Phil, Philly cheesesteak, also known as the class act. Parents love him, your aunts and uncles probably love him, and we love him too. He's one of our best friends. And you'll meet Madaras, who was my roommate at NC State for 3 years. His actual name is Nick. He's got too many nicknames to count. He's also goes by the General. Keep in mind, there's some koozies that Gus has made for us with our nicknames and names on them, so we're excited to meet everyone in this room at some point, hopefully. Transitioning to the formation of the Pack Boys, as we called ourselves, in the infamous group chat with me, Henry, Madaras, and Gus. Good old NC State, where Gus was fortunate to meet Sarah. This is where the pack grew. Gus welcomed more people into his wolf pack: Mike, Shine, and Maxwell. I've had the pleasure of being best friends with Maxwell since we were 12 years old, and him joining forces with us was a seamless maneuver once they were introduced. Gus knew Mike from Greensboro, and once him and Henry decided to live with Mike and our other great friend Brody, the brotherhood was born. Can't say enough about Shine. His real name is Jack, and him and I were fortunate enough to live together for 3 years after joining our fraternity, which Gus essentially became a part of by the end of the day. But the thing about Gus is it doesn't matter who you are, who you were, or how you think people might perceive you. None of that matters, and it's never mattered to him. Everybody eats. Treat everyone with the same level of respect and let people's true colors show. That's Gus. Always inclusive, always watching out for everyone else, and after a lot of drinks, no matter how he feels, somehow, at the end of the night, he's bringing everyone blankets, getting people water, turning into Papa, as we call him, because that's the type of man Mr. and Mrs. O'Hale have raised him to be. Truly altruistic and unapologetically himself. Never putting on a show for anyone else, as I always say, and I'll tell one story about Gus, and trust me, it's all going to tie together here in a moment. Our senior year one night, we were not dating anyone at the time, and it was Valentine's Day. So two boys that are best friends on a weekend night, what did we decide to do? We decided, hey, we're going to go to the gym, get some Chick-fil-A, and have some Miller Lights, as Gus loves to do. So keep in mind, Gus needed to be up at 7 a.m. the next day to go to women's basketball practice, as he was one of the assistant coaches who played alongside the team, and he was one of their scout players, and he's part of the reason why this team was pretty damn good. We go to the gym, grab our Chick-fil-A, start putting back some beverages, and that turned into boxed wine being broken out at midnight and bootlegger around 4 in the morning. But 7 a.m. comes around and Gus gave his classic, I feel awful groan. And then he got his ass up, drove to Tally Student Union, grabbed a Monster and a Powerade, no complaints, and practiced with the team. That's who he is. He always shows up. He's dependable, and damn it, he's always making sure everyone else is okay way before he is. best times throughout high school and into NC State, and somehow, by the grace of God, everyone talks about how did Sarah step into Gus's life. I'd argue it's divine intervention, right? That last semester of college. Sarah joined the wrong group, and she walked over to the table that Gus was sitting at, found the right group, and found the right man. And from what I was told, as funny as Gus is, one of my high school yearbook quote is actually after Gus. He was cracking jokes during the group project, and Sarah got to laugh and laugh all over again with those perfect teeth and great smile, as Gus says. Then he was lucky enough to not have to ask for her number because they were in the group project together. So he decided to text her, ask her to dinner, and the spark was born from there. Called me after the date, beaming about how great Sarah was and how smart she was. And that was one of the things he commented on, was how intelligent Sarah was. And to this day, Gus is Sarah's biggest cheerleader, always telling me about her work travel, and how valuable she is at her job, how great of a woman that she is to compliment him. And what I've gathered is she's the woman to compliment Gus and becoming Mrs. O'Hale tomorrow evening. Sarah, I've seen Gus before he was your Gus, and you've changed him for the better in a myriad of ways. By change, I also mean reinforce the values that you and him hold near and dear to your heart, those being God, family, friendships, and the best of all, Mabel. Those of you who don't know, Gus and Sarah's wonderful golden retriever, that is Mabel, who is their baby, essentially. She should be sitting with all of us here right now. Sarah, thank you for stepping into Gus's life and showcasing what love truly is and being a paragon of a fiancé and soon-to-be wife. Selfishly speaking, I'm beyond to get excited to become one of your best friends in the coming years, since we'll be spending more and more time together. Promise, I'm not trying to plot to end up in your basement. I promise that. You've pushed Gus way outside his comfort zone for the better. Always bring a smile to my face when he calls me ecstatic about the time he just spent together with your grandmother, parents, sister, and your new husband. They say you marry the family when you marry someone. They say you marry the family when you marry someone. And Gus has spoken about nothing but great things from your family and wonderful parents, Sarah. Before I tie this together and close this out, I want to mention Gus's family as well, who's marrying Sarah. Mrs. O'Hale, Mr. O'Hale, Rio, and Joe are some of the best people I've ever met and have a huge impact on my life, and I can't tell you how many times I've spent the night and half of the afternoon of the next day in their Gus's infamous back room. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. O'Hale, for the advice and wisdom you bestowed upon myself throughout the years. Gus and Sarah, you two are tremendous people, and we cannot wait to see the future and family you two build together. I can't wait to become Uncle Dash one day. Keep cheering each other on, always listen to each other with intention, and never forget to keep loving each other as hard as you can for the rest of your lives. I'd ask everyone to raise a glass to Sarah and Gus, the new O'Hales. And then open mic for any of the groomsmen at this point as well.
Oh, no, we're going to...
We're good, no.
All right, last one.